Number 8. So, it's only number 8, and we're all ready to Halo Infinite. Are you surprised? Not surprised? To tell you the truth, this surprised the hell out of me when we tallied up all of our criteria for ranking these. As I wrote this entry, though, it began to make more and more sense. Halo Infinite is an incomplete game, hence the launch parentheses that we added to the title. And the reason we're confident enough to do a placement right at this moment is because there's no guarantee that placement will change in the future. The multiplayer playlists are bare bones, the map list is small, Forge mode, which could augment the amount of maps, is completely absent, and the campaign ends on a cliffhanger. To top it all off, it's the least amount of characters we've had in the series since Combat Evolved. Most of those characters, for better or worse, are completely new, but it feels like an overcorrection for the series. And for anyone who had any questions about what the hell happened in those last 6 months, don't worry, there's a bunch of audio recordings that may or may not pay off later. And you would think, with the soft reset they did, that Infinite's actual narrative would be unhindered. But that's not even true, because now everything in this game exists in the shadow of what came before, like Escarum, while voice acted magnificently, is just an angry red hologram that yells at you occasionally. And while it's low-hanging fruit, his biggest problem is that he's not Atriox. I could go on and on about the weaknesses of the narrative and the villains, or the fact that the biomes of this Halo seem to just be forest or marsh or swamp. You know what? I'm not even going to call it marsh or swamp. There's not that much of a difference. The two biomes of this Halo are forest and a slightly soggier forest. Only it never rains, ever. Huh. But I need to justify this game being on this list, and it is justified, because this game did have an ace up its sleeve, and that ace was Joe Staten. This game feels authentically Halo, when I couldn't say that for any game in nearly a decade. The combat feels right. The look is the proper balance between stylized sci-fi and military shooter. The addition of the grapple hook may have finally usurped that golden triangle of melee, weapons, grenades. So now it could be called the Golden Square? Rectangle? Trapezoid. Golden trapezoid of combat. Where the vehicles fail in this game at traversal, the grapple shines, and without it, I dare say this game would not have been worth mentioning on this list. It isn't the only bright spot, though. I do enjoy what little exploration we get out of the map. I enjoy the personality that drips from every voice line recorded for friend and foe alike, and for the most part, I like the weapon and pilot, even finding myself growing more attached to them over the course of the game.
I think I'm with you. I didn't even know what a banished was an hour ago, and even I can see the odds aren't great.
Yes, you should listen to her. You're gonna get us all killed.
Oh, this is fascinating. You're trying to survive, but I was programmed to die.
Really? One person with a death wish wasn't enough.
I temper that attachment knowing that it could be ripped away at any moment, and that these characters could just as easily disappear like every other character in the series. But for what they are, they serve their purpose. I enjoy Jen Taylor creating a new yet familiar AI, playing a younger and more adorkable character in the form of the weapon, and Echo 216 is perfectly serviceable as an everyman for the Chief to play off of, giving Chief someone to trust and butt heads with as the story needs. Basically, had it released in a more complete or at least slightly more polished state, it might have ranked higher on this list. But that scope creep of the narrative weighs it down. Will this be another abandoned narrative? Will it fulfill any of the promises that it made in its own campaign? Will we start to get a drip feed of resolutions to previous narrative threads? Time will tell on that. At the end of the day, is it fun? It is. It's a damn good shooter. Unfortunately, you dig any deeper into it and it just starts to fall short. 8 is as high as this game will go on this list. While I'm not expecting a miracle in the form of story DLC, I do have hope. And that's the main theme of Infinite. In the game and in a metatextual way, there's always hope.